ねえ、そろそろ思い出してきて。
Alright! Welcome back to the island. Lemon.
これまでのこと、ちゃんと覚えてる
I'm sorry. Karen prepares breakfast in silence with a troubled look on her face. She's as efficient as ever, and she fires precise instructions my way, but hey, we're out of salad dressing. I feel like she's subtly keeping her distance from me. Our conversation hasn't extended beyond anything work-related. I said I was sorry!
何の話だよ。
The Setsuna pyramid. Whoops, she broke a plate.
もういいんだよ。気にしてねえよ。
Now you haven't. Now you haven't. Whoops, she knocked over a pan. Doesn't seem like you've forgotten at all.
わかってんなら蒸し返すんじゃねえよ。デリカシーのねえやつだな。
And as usual, she has zero tolerance. Usually people can handle dirty jokes by the time they get to high school. For example, if it were Rinne.
貧相すぎて気づかなかったわ。
Are you fucking joking? Oh shit. Are you kidding me? She'd probably come back with some kind of sarcastic retort. And if it were Sara.
なるほど。実に興味深い現象ですね。
I bet she wouldn't even have her interest. That's possibly true, and if it were a Kuan...
若いって羨ましいですね。私なんて。
Yeah, she did resent me for it in a different way. I don't want to be brought up the part where we're only imagining girls, so let's try it out with No! Why don't you cut? Why? Thanks, Karen. Your reaction is definitely the best.
わけわかんねえこと言ってねえで仕事に戻れよ。
Why did you mention me here? She also had a brand new bottle of salad dressing. Caesar dressing, is it? By the way, did you know? The shape of salad dressing bottles is designed to be phallic? Oh, she's turned into a statue with the bottle still clutched in her hand. Hey, Karen, I was just kidding.
あんたはほんと最低だな。
She slams the bottle down onto the counter and turns back to the sink. Yeah, that was a great reaction. Like a breath of fresh air or a single flower blooming in a barren wasteland. Although I'm the one who's turning everything around me into the desert.
ドレッシングかけたらちゃっちゃと冷蔵庫戻しとけよ。この時期は傷みやすいんだから。
Alright, let's get this party started!
いちいちうるせえよ。黙って仕事できねえのかよ。
Our jeers and angry shouts filled the early morning kitchen. Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Like Sara said to me yesterday, it seems like I'll solve anything by sticking my nose into Karen's family issues. Karen doesn't want that from me either. But that doesn't mean we have to be strangers. She's showing me the ropes of this job, and I'm tutoring her. We can help each other along in these ways. Hey, can you teach me how you brew coffee? The stuff you made yesterday was way better than mine.
ああ、ちょうど今から入れるところだから。
She suddenly stops in her tracks.
やっぱ教えない。
Why? Don't be mean. I promise I'll stop teasing you. I don't think there's like big jokes when it comes to coffee. Or are there? And I'm missing something.
教えない。
Why are you being so stingy?
昨日のこと 覚えてねえのかよ。
Yesterday? Aha! I get it!
なんだよ。
You're scared I'm gonna steal your job, aren't you? Yesterday she said something about wanting me to get fired. That was a joke, you fucker!
そうだよ。ほら、あんたはあっち行ってろよ。
Now I can sneak a peek from where I am now. I'm not going anywhere until you're finished.
うぜえからくっつくんじゃねえよ。
Our chairs and angry shouts filled the early morning kitchen. Yeah, looks like it's gonna be another peaceful day. Now, the Goshin baseball finals are today. Kiryu Daichi versus Okayama Science. I wonder who won. I hear my body up from the sofa and...
おい、こら、せつな。
What up? What? I can't turn on the TV if you're standing there.
堂々とサボってんじゃねえ。仕事中だ。
It's the Kashin Finals, a great festival of youth overflowing with the blood, sweat, and tears of high schoolers from all over Japan.
知らねえよ。つか、私たちには関係ねえ。
Ugh, it's sad to hear that. It's sad to hear such things from one of today's students. I'll fix the tattoo to the viewers. Let's take this outside.
だから仕事中だっつってんだろうが。
Somehow this has become the norm. Karen shouting at me all through the early afternoon. What else is there for us to do anyway? Thanks to Karen, I'm getting better at my job, and we finished all our tasks even earlier than the day before. With nothing else to do, I decided to organize the old newspapers, but I did finish up quickly and found my eyes wandering to the TV listings. Rinne even said it was okay for us to relax once we do finished.
そりゃそうだが、だからって。
I'm having a deja vu? What are you so anxious about? Life's long, have some fun with it. I don't know. Why don't we play cards? Let's see. Bridge can't really be played with just 2 players. Come on. Karen glances at the newspaper, her expression stern. August 21st. We entered the last third of the month. I guess she does have a reason to be anxious. But that's her own issue, and not something I can help with. Now, there is one thing I can do. Fine. Let's take a look at your homework. You can't complain when I'm being helpful, right? The shadow instantly clears from Karen's expression.
まあ、あんたがどうしてもって言うならいいけどよ。
Honestly, she never just comes out and says what she wants, does she? She was waiting for me to suggest it. Well, it's our work, so it has to be finished at some point. So when do we want to do it? Now! You brought your textbooks and things, right?
当たり前だ。着替えてくるからちょっと待っててくれ。
She rushes up with a skip in her step. She seems to be plenty motivated. Guess we do better buckle down and get as much of it out of the way as possible. Fortunately, both Rinne and Kuon are shut up in the rooms, so we have the first floor to ourselves. So where do I want to do it? Here!
じゃあ、5分後に刹那部屋に集合な。
Now, man!
不完全優性遺伝
There's a high school girl in my room! Ow!
ああ、もううるせえな。気が散るだろう。
Well, you're distracting me! Hang on, didn't we have this exact same conversation yesterday? Is the world stuck in a time loop?
こんな問題わかんねえよ。
Maybe it is. Which one? Let's see. Wait. 1% of examinees answered correctly. That's unreasonable. I can almost imagine the smirk on the face of the teacher setting these questions. Although, I'm smirking even more. Uh-huh. So it's something like this. Ah, of course.
回答集あんのかよ。よこせよそれ。
You'll just copy the whole thing, won't you?
当たり前だろ。あーくそ。もっと早く気づいてりゃよかった。
Confiscated.
ふざけんな。よこせっつーの。いいから。
No. If you want it, come and get it.
くな。くそ。
Hey, since when did we have drums in the room? With much pushing and shoving, the battle for the answer sheet commences. And sure enough, the winner is...
やっと手に入れた。って肝心のページが破れてるじゃねえか。
My plan prevails. I fold that scrap of paper in my hand into a paper plane, and... the infinity and beyond! The answer 737 launches from the window on its long voyage to distant lands. Fly with our dreams on your wings, far, far beyond the sea.
どうすんだよ。答えわかんなくなっちまったじゃねえか。
We don't need to know the answers. What we do need is the process that helps us arrive at them. As people have long said, it's not about the destination. It's about enjoying the journey.
ふざけんな。
But seriously, you don't learn anything by just copying, do you?
そりゃあ、まあ。
So you're stuck on a genetics question again, are you?
だってよ。
Our previous energy has drained away and our tone is defeated. Incomplete dominance, huh? We didn't cover this yesterday, so it's not fair of me to reapproach her. Well, the thought process is important. There are some things you need to know before you can get anywhere. Alright, let's carry on from where we left off yesterday. Episode 2! Teach me Setsuna Sensei! Here we go!
うげえ。
You remember how we were talking about there being two sets of genes? And how sometimes one of them changes and stops working?
確か A 遺伝子が O 遺伝子に変わるってやつだろ。
That's right. If you have at least one A gene, your blood type will be A. To put it another way, you can't be type O unless you have two O genes. Genes like A here, and you only need one of them, are called dominant genes. And ones like O, where you need two, are called recessive genes.
A の方が O よりいいってことか？
No, it's not about one being better than the other. For example, you have one A gene and one O gene, but your blood type is A and not O, right? Basically, it's a case of the two genes competing inside your body, and A winning. Well, it's only to be expected when O, which has stopped working, is up against A, which has always worked.
ん？そういや B ってのもいたよな。
If B was up against O, B would win. So that makes B a dominant gene. I pulled away half my headphones because I need to hear when someone's coming, and that certain someone has forgotten keys, and I can't enjoy this properly. Anyways, sorry for the rant, but yeah. And this is where the problem arises, anyways. And a fight between A and B. Which would win?
だな。
1. A wins. 2. B wins. 3. Both A and B win. 4. Both A and B lose.
AB 型っていうくらいだから。
What is this?
A も B も勝つ。
You want to be a millionaire or something? Is that your final answer?
ファイナルアンサー？ せつな？ おい、どうして黙るんだよ。
Correct!
ためすぎなんだよ。
Like I said, since both A and B genes are working, you end up with an AB blood type that has the properties of both genes. You can't say that either of them is dominant, and so we call that phenomenon incomplete dominance. In the example of AB blood type, it's a case where both genes are performing different functions at the same time. On the other hand, for example, there are cases where a gene can work with just one of them, but would perform better if there were two. For example, with a gene that makes nutritions, two of them would be able to make more than one, right? In that case, it's called incomplete dominance because it isn't a matter of whether it works or not, but of how well it works.
わかったようなわかんねえような。
So, my explanation so far should have pulled your chances of answering correctly up to about 5%.
5% ってまだ全然じゃねえか。
Look here, if you're gonna quit, now's the time to do it. You don't need to solve this question in the first place, and dropping out at this stage is also an option.
じゃあ、そうする。
What? But that won't make for a good show.
わかったわかった。一応最後まで聞いてやるよ。けどクイズ形式はなしな。うざいから。
And here I was taking it to keep her from getting bored. Now the problem you're trying to solve is more complex. I leaned in towards her and pointed it out on her question sheet. As I explained yesterday, humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and those chromosomes store our genes. You don't usually need to think about which genes are housed in which chromosomes, except in one special
特
case.
別な場合？
Have you heard of X and Y chromosomes? Put simply, they're the chromosomes that determine whether someone is male or female. Oh, that one I remember somehow.
じゃあ女染色体とか男染色体とかでいいじゃねえか。わざわざ英語で分かりづれんだよ。
That's to do with the shape of the chromosome. I draw X in our notebook. Most chromosomes are shaped like an X. However, due to some accident a long time ago, this part got knocked off. I raised the bottom right leg of the X. See? Now it looks like a Y. The Y chromosome that men have is just an X chromosome with a bit missing.
まずいじゃねえか。中の遺伝子なくなっちまったんだろ？
Yeah, since it was a bad enough accident to affect the shape of the chromosome, a whole bunch of genes were probably lost in it too. The chromosomes are paired up precisely for times like that, even if one is a Y. So long as the other is an X, there's no
な
problem.
るほど。じゃあさ、2つとも Y になっちまったら？
A good question from Karen. She's saving me a lot of extra time. You do die. Or probably you do never be born in the first place. That's why there are only two types of humans in this world. Those with two X chromosomes, and those with an X and a Y chromosome. Women and men, in other words.
待てよ。つまりさ、Y ってのはぶっ壊れちまった染色体で、男の体の中でも X が働いてるってことだろ？じゃあ、どうして男と女は違うんだよ。
Aha, so we've come to this part. It's true that a Y chromosome is one of those we can do without. Well, those types of chromosomes become the testing grounds for new genes. Since being without them is no impediment to survival, they're the perfect place for genetic mutations to happen. They're ripe for evolution. And that's how we, in our old age, gain breasts. Anyway, let's have the new genes get born that way. For example, can you think of a new one? and leaning towards Sarah, my expression grave.
知らねえよ。つかクイズ禁止だっつっただろ。
I bring my mouth to her ear and whisper, like the gene that sprouts a dick. Oh? She's frozen like a statue with her pencil still gripped in her hand. I think that's gonna be torn in half. And in that way, the Y chromosomes brought about unique mutations. I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense. Since having two Y chromosomes results in that, it'd be really dangerous for two people both carrying Y chromosomes to have a child together. People with Y chromosomes have to mate with people who don't. And that's why men have evolved to desire women. Alright, that sounded super cool. Hey Karen, are you listening? Aha, she's come back to us.
聞いてるよ。つまり男ってのは女に頼らねえといけねえダメな生き物ってことだろ。
That's putting it a bit bluntly, but I suppose in a sense men are defective, while women are the perfect package. Actually, there are many examples in the natural world where the female of the species is stronger than the male. Like bees and ants. Oh, and the praying mantis is a tragic example. After copulation, the female eats the male. Copulation. Was that word too difficult? It means sex.
わかってるよ。あんたはカマキリにでも生まれ変わってるよ。
You want to eat me?
私は生まれ変わらねえよ。
I don't know about that. In Buddhism, if you don't collect enough good karma in this lifetime, then in the next.
あんたよりは積んでるよ。
Really? Then you'll definitely be a human in your next life.
もし来世で出会ったら、捕まえてメスと同じカゴに入れといてやるよ。
So I'm still a praying mantis. We're getting off topic here.
どうして人間は男の方が強いんだ？
Huh? That's probably an issue of culture. Genetically speaking, man's existence depends on women. Therefore, the big task of birthing and raising children was forced onto women by men. Meaning that men then had the freedom to occupy themselves with other things. Things such as science, labor, war. The list is endless, and you started with that. Perhaps man became so fixated on things like that because he had some kind of complex regarding women. And so, in their frenzy, they built a society that accorded the highest esteem to those areas. Well, it's essentially a cultural issue. There are some regions that are matriarchal. Having said that, as time passes, they won't be able to avoid getting sucked into our patriarchal society. Reproduction, the most fundamental system of life, dictates that men and women are inherently different. Just as men and women can't stop falling in love, the gap between them will never be closed. And so, they're at odds. Sorry, I'm lagging a little bit.
めんどくせえな、人間ってのは。
Tell me about it. Alright, I wanna be reborn as a praying mantises together then? Get in, let's have a long, sharp breath.
それもありだな。
There's something sensual about saying. Something oddly sensual. Well, let's get back to the problem, shall we? This should have taken you through the basics, so try thinking about it yourself now.
これで基礎かよ。
Don't say that. Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? Look, women have 2 X chromosomes, and men have 1, right? So when mutations occur in the genes in the X chromosome, somehow I feel uneasy. Karen is teaching me about my job, and I'm tutoring her in return. That's our relationship as it stands right now. So, 6-linked inheritance means that the type frequency of certain traits is related to sex. But what if I'm mistaken? What if I've taken Karen down a different path without even realizing it? Will I be able to take responsibility for that? Maybe.
わかんねえ。全然わかんねえ。
In other words, inferior mirages happen because refractive index of light changes depending on the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere.
これ以上私の頭に妙なもん突っ込むんじゃねえ。
We walk side by side along the steady path under the setting sun. After genetics, we did focus on other questions for a while, but I can't say we made progress by any stretch of the imagination. Somehow, when I'm talking with her, we always end up digressing. Although those times are the most fun. But it can't all be fun and games.
つか、どうして光が曲がんだよ。まっすぐ進めよ。
Karen snugly embraced the sun. Seems like she's pretty worn out. Sorry, my bad. Let's leave it at that for today.
いや、悪いのは私の頭だよ。
She suddenly stops in her tracks.
やっぱさ、勉強とか向いてねえんだよ、私。
I don't think that's true. She might not be great at it, but she's a fast learner. She just doesn't really know how to go about studying. Considering how good she is at housework, I get the impression that if you show her something once, it will naturally stick with her. But I don't really want to give her such an outright compliment. Today's questions weren't very good, that's all. I bet they were from some university's entrance exam. Hey, you're not planning on going to a university, are you? So it's nothing to stress about. Wait, don't tell me you do plan on going?
ねえよ。けど、そうやって勝手に決められんのも、なんかムカつくんだよ。
Well, I'm sorry. Sorry.
いいけどよ。どうせ私には無理だしさ。
You might. Karen looks down at the ground, her expression troubled. There I go, sticking my nose into things again. It's none of my business, really. I'm not your parent or your teacher, I'm just... For a moment, I find myself at a loss for words.
ただの？
Karen is staring at me. The longer she stares, the harder it is for me to answer. What am I?
せつなさんを家に招いたのも父親に対する反抗の一つでしょう。それ以上の意図はないと思われます。ないといいのですが。
It's probably because of what Sara said. Yeah, that's it. Alright, speaking of parents, what happened with your dad last night? Was he mad?
死ぬほど怒ってたっつうの。当たり前だろ。
Sorry.
ああ、いや、原因は私だから。
I keep apologizing, don't I? Why do I keep bringing up all these things I shouldn't?
くそ、思い出したらまたムカついてきた。ああ、親父ぶっ殺して。
Why don't you just curse him and leave it at that? But that wouldn't make it any better. Wait, curse?
いいじゃねえか。
Oh yeah, we forgot to do something. Curse!
私が誰と付き合ったって。
Crap! I forgot! Sorry, Cannon, gotta go!
どうしたんだよ。
I just remembered something urgent! I remembered something being said about making sure to collect an effigy the next day, or the cards would rebound. As a man, if I go bald and start falling apart at this age, life will no longer be worth living. I've gotta go get it right away. See you later, Karen! Yeah? Karen has grabbed hold of my arm. What is it?
もう少し。
Hmm? What was that?
もう少しだけ。
Dale. Sorry. Jesus.
もう少しだけ。一緒に。
Dale. Chemistry is downturned and I can't make out your expression. But I think I can imagine it. There's no way I can brush off her hand. Guess I'm going bald. Am I gonna fall apart? Is that my fate now?
な、2本入りで598円はお得だろ？
I'm not so sure. I mean, the bottles are tiny.
だからいいんじゃねえか。持ち運びやすくて。
The strong scent of insect repellent hangs over us as we chat. It sounds like the mood's particularly special, but for some reason I feel extremely calm. Besides us, our empty immune bottles glint as they catch the rays of the westerning sun. I guess this is the nostalgic scent of summer. But why do you look bored? Oh well, I can drop by Sara's place later. Do you always carry insect repellent around with you?
まだあるぞ。ほら、制汗スプレーだろ、日焼け止めスプレーに、防犯スプレーに、香水。
You have a lot of sprays, dude. You're spray crazy! She produces various little bottles from her bag. It's like Mary Poppins' magic bag.
あんた汗くせえな。ちゃんと洗濯してんのか？
You're just using it. You're just giving excuses to use those pepper sprays. I can't help it. I'm alternating between two shirts. If it bothers you so much, set for. Well,
これで大丈夫だな。
I know it. Those were just your excuses. I've gone from the scent of summer to that of a high school girl. Although I'm not really sure what that smells like. There's a girl right beside me, and I can feel the humidity from her slightly sweaty uniform, and it smells of various sprays mixed together. I can imagine that it smells something like this.
持っててよかったろ？
I suppose I'll give you that just this once.
素直じゃねえやつ。そうだ、これ試してみるよ。
Eve! God!
これは
It's slimy and gross. Quit rubbing strange substances on me without my permission. Pause. Isn't it heavy? Carrying all that stuff around with you?
なんか落ち着かねえんだよ。持ってねえと。だってさ、いついるかわかんねえだろ？
You must be a hoarder. I bet your room's a cluttered mess.
そんなことねえよ。昨日片付けたばっかだよ。
Alright, let's go see it right now.
それは。
I know it. But then again, I'm sure it's normal for important times and things you can't throw away to accumulate as you go through life. I wonder if I had them too. Important things I couldn't throw away. I must have. But now I have lost them all. I wonder if I'll ever have them again.
もうすぐ夏休みも終わりか。
What's up? Are there still things you have left to do?
別にねえけどよ。
Karen's sigh disperses into the orange
た
sky.
だなんかさ。
She's fidgeting with her immune bottle. She seems to be trying to get the marble out, but it's trapped inside the bottle, so she's not going to get it out that easily.
そう。
I get the impression that the marble isn't the only cause of her irritation, but she's doing well at her job, and though she may be taking big steps, she's getting through her homework bit by bit. So what on earth could she be dissatisfied with? Yeah, the immune wasn't enough, was it? Should I go buy something else? What? Was that it?
いいよ。金もねえし。
If it's just been gel bean or something, I'll treat you.
あんただって無駄に使える金ねえだろ。
What was that?
空耳だろ。
No, I'm sure it was.
あんたがあんみつとか言い出すからだろ。
She's right that I'm not rolling a dough right now. But I also don't have anything else to spend it on. A couple bowls of bean jelly won't break the bank.
そういや、いいもん持ってんだった。
Hmm? She pulls a hard candy from her bag and tosses it into her mouth. My eyes unconsciously follow her movements.
あんたも食うか？
Sure. No, it's okay.
何味がいい？いろいろあるぞ。
Maybe it's just my imagination getting carried away. But as she ravages about in her magic bottomless bag, I'm reminded of what I do heard about her mother yesterday. How should you always have any candy you asked for? Lemon then. I find myself answering, even though I don't particularly want one.
レモンか。見つからねえな。
Oh, so that's why lemon is the safe option, I guess. As a last resort, she opens her bag. It's because her mother shares candy, I guess, with some people, and now Karen does it too. I guess it was just a flight of fancy. Never mind, I'm not such a fan of sweets and. Ah! How is what? Hard candy is rattling around in my mouth. It's lemon flavor. Oh, she had it! Actually, I don't really like sweet things.
But that fucking seals the deal.
I now love them. Karen, you...
うるせえな。黙って舐めとけ。
Okay. I thought we can talk normally under these circumstances anyway. Yeah, I'll just keep quiet for now. Until this candy has dissolved away anyway. Wow. That was ballsy of her. 38 minutes! Well, I gotta stop the episode here.